Hey, welcome to the Frost Paul experience. I am Paul Seymour.
And I'm Nik Frost. How you doing, Paul?
Oh, I'm sweating, mate. I've never been so all my life, you know. How about yourself?
I'm pretty over the moon right now, as you can imagine. We've just
Yes.
watched the big game.
Oh, a good signal from being over the moon. Not doing too bad.
Yeah, it's 7G, mate.
7G. Is that what you got injected? Yeah, fantastic. So obviously we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, what a very tense semi-finals I thought for both games.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, both semi-finals went to extra time.
yeah,
Uh,
first time. So
you kind of hope for tough games in the semis. You don't want anyone to just storm away with a comfortable win, do you? I guess.
well, I wouldn't have minded it tonight, to be fair, for the
Yeah,
stress
of
levels.
course.
But I get what you mean. Yeah, as a neutral, yeah, you don't really want to see that. You want to see a good game, and I think we did get good games. I just think they were very tense, and I think they had to build up to it, which is fair. I understand. All four teams had a chance to get to the final, so. But we'll start with yesterday. Obviously, we'll hold our elation just for a moment, and we'll talk about yesterday's game, which was between Italy and Spain. Italy eventually went through 41 penalties after a draw. Was it the 90 minutes? Didn't it? They didn't score in extra time.
Yeah. So 1-1 in 90 minutes. No goals in hyper overtime.
Yes.
Yeah, and then went to the dreaded penalty shootout. But let's talk about the game first before we get to the shootout. Going into the game, obviously, a lot of people had Italy pegged as heavy favourites, but me too, to be honest.
Yeah, same as.
I've said throughout, Italy have been by far and away the best team in the tournament.
Yeah.
But for me, on the night, Spain were the better team.
Yeah, 100%. I can't agree more. Then I'm glad you agree with me because you know what? Well, I agree with you in this case. Yeah, I thought Spain were very dominant in their gameplay. So I thought that they controlled most of the game. I think Italy probably allowed them to a little bit, so they can kind of hit them on the burn. But yeah, I thought Spain played very well, and it sucks that they had to go out the way they did. But I suppose penalties is penalties, isn't it?
Well, that's it, yeah. But like we both said, Spain were the better team. But as we've been saying throughout the whole tournament, they can't finish.
Yeah.
Obviously, they took off their main striker, didn't start him, Morata, purely on account of the fact he's been missing a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's come on and scored the goal there, however.
Yeah. I know.
But then before he came on, they missed with his replacement, I believe. He missed an absolutely brilliant chance at 0-0.
The header, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he come over and he just kind of missed that head. I was, oh no, yeah, devastated for that lad. But Italy obviously took the lead with Chiesa, who's been, fantastic, really, hasn't he? Throughout the tournament, he's been kind of a little Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from back in the Man United days. He's come on, he's playing his game, and he whips in with a goal.
Good finish as well.
Yeah, it was good play from Donnarumma all the way through. Good passing all the way through. Great counter. Thoroughly deserved that goal. I think on the turn of play, I think obviously Spain were playing better during that whole sequence. But yeah, like I say, on the turn of that Donnarumma putting it out, yeah, great finish.
Then obviously Morata came on. He got the goal. Went from hero to villain, of course. As he did then go on to missing the penalty shootout, but the final pen, of course, for Spain.
Yeah, I thought Italy. I thought Italy were going to win that penalty shootout. I just after Spain's last performance against was it Switzerland, wasn't it?
It was, scraped past that, didn't they?
Yeah, so they look nervous, if I'm honest. I think when Italy, I don't know who this first shot to take was, when he missed or got saved. I seen the Spanish player roll up, and he was kind of like, "I've got this, not a problem." And I was like, "Okay, let's see if he's got the balls." And then when he hit it, it saved again, and I was like, "Oh dear, there they are shrinking away."
I think that penalty's still going up, ain't it?
It's going up into it's going to space. Well, it's not. It's because obviously it's flat Earth, so it just bounced off the roof and come back down now. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's still flying high. But I think overall, I think Spain. My hard to say Spain deserves something out of this because it's not like a league game, is it? Like we can get a draw or something. So I think over the tournament, I think Italy deserve this, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. James has joined us. He says if it wasn't for Morata, it wouldn't have been extra time. So you can't really call him a villain. No, this is true. Yeah, I mean, he took them to extra time with the goal, of course. But then he did miss the decisive pen. he's not really a villain, of course. It's just a typical football saying, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with one of them. They said he couldn't catch a break, and I think that is Wimrat, isn't it? Like you say, he could have 20 games and miss them all, but come on in a vital one, like he did when he played for Atletico against Liverpool that time in the Champions League quarterfinals. He come on, and he scored 2 at Anfield when we were undefeated at Anfield for God knows how many years, and he come on and did it. And I think that he has moments. He does. It's just unfortunate that yes, he had a moment in this game. Of course he did, but he had another moment and all.
But yeah, look, he did it. He wasn't the only one to miss a pen, was he?
No.
As we mentioned. So they won 4-2 on pens, of course. Italy missed their first, but then scored all of their remaining pens.
Yeah.
We should talk about Jorginho's pen, of course, the cheeky sod that he is.
No, I don't know if I'm just old, but I don't like that. I don't like the way he takes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, I suppose, because he's still running up to take it. He just does a skip and a jump instead of a run. I get it, but I'm just very old school, and I'm just like, ugh, I just think it's disrespectful to the goalkeeper in the competition. But whatever, it counts, and that's the end of that.
I think I'm with you, but I also think kids at school, they're watching out, they're thinking, going, "Oh, Jorginho's like the best team player ever," and they're loving it. So I don't mind it too much.
Well, I think they get into a final in about 10 years' time again, and they're playing in this final, and they do penalties, and they start doing hop, skip, and jumps to kick them in. Then I'm all for it. I will thank Jorginho. But until then,
James mentions Alba was dominated at the coin toss. Cellini obviously was giving him the old mind games.
He wasn't he? He's been very charismatic, wasn't he? Giving him a hug and clapping and laughing, and Alba was just going, "No, man, you got to chill." I'm not having this. And he's like, "Yeah, come on, man, it's all good." It's just like, oh no. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he was. But yeah, I think Italy deserved it really to go through to the final. As I say, I mean, even given everything else, they've been the best team in the tournament still.
Oh yeah,
they're worthy finalists for me.
Yeah. From game one. From when we reviewed first game against Turkey, wasn't it? We've seen how they played there. They've been dominant all for. I mean, obviously, if I wasn't an English person, English fan, whatever, then I'd quietly say, they deserve the whole thing. Obviously, I just hope they trip up at the final hurdle. One question though for you, Nick. I noticed on the lists of games for Italy, it says unbeaten. Or they haven't lost or something in 20 odd games or something, but they drew this game technically, didn't they?
They did,
but obviously they went on penalties. Now it's still classed as a draw, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
In a way. So I'll have to look at the stats for this. So that means I think the 32 game winning streak has come to an end technically. But obviously still undefeated, obviously. That was an interesting one. I didn't know how to word that one because it depends on momentum, how to go into the next game. Will they be thinking, our momentum's crying? But if they've lost it, they might be more chill or they might be more devastated the fact they've worked out that. Who knows? Hopefully it plays on their mind.
Well, they also haven't been behind in a game for something like 2 years.
Oh, that's good omen, isn't it? Bloody hell.
It's a hell of a stat.
It is, isn't it? But let's go on to the more important game, in my personal opinion.
Yes, tonight. It's just finished, of course.
And they managed to get a goal against England, which was good. That's what you wanted, wasn't it, really? Just a bit of,
Yes.
Yeah.
See how they bounce back from being a goal behind, which obviously Italy haven't been tested yet like that. Yeah. So England 2, Denmark 1. Obviously, this game's just finished after extra time. England won in extra time with a penalty. So I guess the obvious question, but we should immediately start with this: was it a pen?
Of course it was. Of course it was. Raheem Sterling was, he's solid on the ball. Raheem Sterling. I've said it each week during the whole league season since he ever played football. He's always solid on his feet. It takes a big man to take him down. Definite penalty. I'm only joking. When he gets in that box, he drew those two players in, and they came in on him. And unfortunately, he did take the bait, and he is going to go down because he's known for that in the Premier League. We know that. And it pisses me off no end when I'm watching them do it for Man City. However, on this occasion, I wasn't as mad as I probably should. It's weird, isn't it? You change your T-shirt and have a different mindset on somebody. It is so weird. But anyway, I've still got to get my head around that. But I think it was very soft. I think that potentially Kane should have had a penalty the other way around about in the first half, in my opinion. I know he gave the free kick the other way and yellow carded Harry Kane, which I was a bit daft, but whatever. So maybe he was thinking along them lines. If they do have a chance, if they do go down again, I can't not do it. I don't know. But either way, it is what it is. But we'll start off with Danish brilliance in terms of free kick taking. I had a feeling that was going to go in because I seen the way he was shouting over to the defence. He wasn't sure. You seen the goalkeeper. He wasn't sure. Pickford. He was. I seen the worry in his face. Like he's going to have a go here. And we know him. He's just like as he is. But yeah, great free kick. Fantastic free kick. I thought.
Hell of a hit. Should Pickford have saved it? I mean, he got his fingertips to it.
Yeah, I think if he just had that little bit of extra reach, then he'd have been all right. But yeah, hey, look, mate, he's earning more money than I'm in a year, so I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, he's it is what it is. But great finish. I thought Denmark played very defensively. It's that typical Viking shield wall mentality, like oof, we're not going to let you pass.
Well, I think it's understandable that they play defensively. I mean, going into the match, England are heavy favourites, player for player. They are the stronger team.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can criticise them for that, really.
That's true. Yeah.
You got a comment. James says it's a free kick anywhere on the pitch. The pen. Yeah. So why shouldn't it be a pen in that regard?
Exactly. Which is that's the point. Like a lot of these penalties, they overthink them. Well, is it or isn't? Yeah, if it was touched on the free kick outside the box, yes, it would have been given a free kick, even if it's a pullback or anything. I just think that a foul, no matter where it is on the pitch, regardless of how vital it is if it's a foul, it's a foul. If it's not, it's not. End of. But they seem to judge it differently, don't they, when it's in the box? They don't know. So
yeah, they do. So Denmark win 1-0 with the free kick. Obviously, great finish. England equalised. All of this was in the first half. So right before the equaliser, Sterling had a golden chance, which he fluffed.
Yeah.
But then he was in the right place, right time, forced the own goal, really.
Yeah.
So a wonderful ball from Kane to Saka. Saka cuts it across. Defender just pops it in. If he doesn't do that, Sterling just knocks it in. So.
Yeah, either way, that was going to go in, wasn't it? But yeah, great pass from Harry Kane. Got to give him his due. Obviously, we spoke about him a lot during the season about his passing, assisting, and stuff like that. So he's obviously good at that. Great, in fact. The fact that he did that in that game, made a vital pass, which I'll discuss with you in a moment about the forward situation. But I think Saka played a good game tonight. He was always trying to go at him. Him and Sterling, I think they've been, especially Sterling. He's shone, hasn't he? Meant to have this terrible form for Man City, and turned out a worldie for this one. So fair play to both players. But yeah, they had to be there at the right time, and he forced that own goal, like you said. So it's good equaliser. They needed it, obviously. And then the second half, it was just one-sided, I thought. It was just England going and going and going, and then the Danes just holding. So,
It was. It was. But I don't think England never looked really like they were about to score at any point in that second half.
No.
They were pushing, but never really had a cutting edge.
Yeah, they looked better when Grealish, I thought, come on, and then looked better even then when into extra time, and obviously they had Hendo on, and then Phil Foden as well. They were going at them, weren't they? Yeah. Which is what you want, But yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of people saying, let's take Sterling off now. He's playing, he's done too much or whatever. But if it wasn't for him running into that box, that penalty wouldn't have been had. So, you got to look at it from that point and all. But then obviously there was a penalty. It is what it is. They did check it. They double checked it. They triple checked it. They checked it with everybody. It still remained a penalty. Kane took it, was saved by Kasper Schmeichel. And obviously he didn't manage to grab the ball. Unfortunately, bounced straight back to Kane. And he just, he was off celebrating before he kicked it in. Which I thought was fun. But fair play. They scored the rebound. Always go after the rebound, which obviously Kane's a predator like that, isn't he? So, But overall, what did you think to England's performance? Obviously, it's not as dominant as probably it was against Ukraine. But I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, no, obviously you're not going to repeat that in the semi-final of the Euros, obviously. James mentions that save from Schmeichel from the header. Yeah. Of course. Kasper made a wonderful. I can't remember when that was in the game, to be honest. Maybe in the second half, maybe in extra time.
I think so. Yeah.
But Schmeichel, full ball comes in. Maguire header, full length dive from Schmeichel, just claws it away from the line. Brilliant save. And like Conte said at the time, that's one of the reasons why he's one of the best in the Premiership at the moment.
Oh God, yeah. Brilliant. I think if we went to penalties, we'd have had it. If I'm honest.
Yeah, because I mean,
I just think his
look at
confidence
Kane's
level.
penalty, for God's sake. It was a terrible penalty.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's got the predatory instincts to follow up.
Yeah. You don't get the second chance, do you, in the penalty shootout, you see? So, but
yeah, I think they played well. I think they did enough to win. I think they were the better team. On the balance of the two games that we've just seen, Italy, Spain, England, Denmark, can England beat Italy? It's a big order, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the big question of the day now, isn't it? Now, I would have been, to be fair, out of the two, I would have preferred, from what I'd seen last night, I preferred to play Italy out of the two. Reason being, I think Spain are very dominant on the ball, and they were trying to create. Now, the only thing I wish we didn't have to play, I did have to play Spain, is the fact they can't finish their dinner. So they've done all that, they'd have got to the end, and it would have spilled off the edge of the table. Whereas Italy, they're quite happy to let you dominate the ball. Like England, it's not, Denmark will invite in the pressure, come on, let's go for it. But Italy will quite happily sit back and let England play and get at them and whatever. Then bang, right before you know it, there's a counter attack, just like it did yesterday against Spain. Boom, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, straight to the other end, and they've got to be ready. I think it's going to be tough. Oh God, I don't want to make a prediction because it's going to be horrible. I think I'm just happy the fact that England actually got into a final. It's been 55 years. And I've seen so many semis as yourself, quarterfinals, where if you've gone out and finally done it. I'm just made up for that alone. So I think even if they did lose to Italy, I'm not terribly upset. I'm just the fact they got a little step further, Yeah,
of course. It's like you say, 55 years of hurt. Finally, first time in our lifetimes, of course, England are in a final.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable feeling.
That's mad, isn't it? Like our parents were watching them in final last time, and they were youngsters, whereas now we're finally getting to that point in our life where we're in our 30s and we're getting to watch it, nearly 40. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I still think Italy will have too much for us. I think England are good. They've got that togetherness still, but I still don't think Gareth Southgate's found his perfect 11, whereas Italy, they know their perfect 16. I think that'd be tough.
What do you make of Southgate bringing on Grealish, who looked good when he was on, and then subbing him off tactically? Do you like that?
I've never been a fan for unless obviously he's injured, of course, obviously, but he was no injured, was he? I just hope it doesn't damage Grealish's confidence because he's come on. He's been told to go out there and have a go, and he has. And I thought the team perked up when he come on, just like they did against Germany. But it was like the ultimate thing, we're now going to bring Trippier on for defensive tactics. And I get it. You're trying to defend because Denmark then started rushing forward then because they were 2-1 down. Obviously, they're going to. But I did feel bad for Grealish, and I just hope and pray that it didn't affect his confidence because he's going to want to play against Italy. Of course, he is. And if he does get a game, I don't know if he'll start again. I don't think he will. But if he does get a game, I hope he comes on and tries to have a go. And look, if he turns it inside the other, and scores a worldie top corner, he'll be seen as a hero. And Southgate will probably be seen as a hero for making him angry enough to do that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it unless they're injured, of course. But yeah, it is what it is. What's your opinion on the sub for sub kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't like it. James mentions Denmark did have 3 strikers and 5 midfielders on. They did, but take off one of the midfielders who's been on the whole game at that point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Take off Phillips. Take off Sterling at that point.
I think Phillips had a poor game. I don't think he was as good as he has been in the past. But again, he's his first really run out, isn't it? Because obviously he's just really got into the team in the last year or so. So I can't really blame the lad. But him and Rice, they did all right. Mount just couldn't really get anywhere. I think they were drowning a little bit. It was all about Sterling for me tonight. But going back to the front forward and Saka as well, of course. But I think with another question on Kane. Kane's up front on his own, technically, isn't he? But at the moment, he's playing like a number 10. He's not playing like a 9 because there's often times they get that ball into the box and he wasn't there. There was one side where I think Sterling got into the box or Luke Shaw, got into that box, crossed it in. There was no Danish player on the end of it, but Kane was at the back. He was outside the penalty area. I'm like, why aren't you in there attacking it? Maybe it's tactic by Gareth. Maybe he's saying, look, we got to try and play a bit more cautiously, but it must be frustrating for him as well, being a striker.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, and I was constantly screaming at the TV, "Kane, get forward!"
Yeah.
He kept dropping back and dropping back. I don't think it's tactics from Gareth on this occasion because he
Mm.
plays the same way for Tottenham.
Well,
He
yeah.
just wants the ball to his feet, doesn't he? That's why he just keeps dropping back.
Yeah, and he likes to take a shot outside the box every now and again. He likes a pop, doesn't he? Um, and he likes to run again. So yeah, I kind of get it, but sometimes I just wish he was there, and that's where you get a Rashford. You know, look when he took a shot in the second half. I think it's before the penalty was given. You know, he was on his arse. He passed. He shot the ball at Cash, but he fluffed it. He saved it, obviously, but it went bounced out. But there was no one there again. Just like, oh god, my brain. Like, why isn't anyone there? But you know, you're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to think of something because the Italians are gonna have. They've been to a final before. They know what it's like. Okay, maybe these not a set of players, but they felt failure, especially in the last so many years, not getting to the World Cup and whatnot. And now they're on such a high. To take them off this is going to be so tough. I don't think any team in the world at the moment is going to be doing it, let alone England. But Spain had a pop. At least they had a go. But Italy, they said, "Yeah, come on, bring it on to us. We'll defend you, and then we'll get you when you're not looking." So they had a counter for that as well. It's going to be tough. Italy have been harder to beat in the knockouts. Admittedly, Austria had a pop. Belgium had a pop. Spain had a pop. They're all getting closer. Can England get over that line?
Well, Italy have got two centre backs who are both in their mid to late 30s.
I was going to say 40s.
Yeah. Well, in terms of football terms,
yeah,
Cellini and Bonucci are both old, very good players, of course, still.
Oh, yeah.
But in a straight foot race, they're not going to beat Sterling or Saka. I mean, that's what England have got to play for.
Yeah, they've got to burst it, haven't they? They've got to attack them, have a run at them. They should say to them, right, Saka, Sterling, if you're playing, run straight at them too, because they either foul you or they let you go by, or make a great tackle. One of the three. No doubt they'll probably make great tackles the majority of the time because they are there for a reason. But if they have a go, if they can slip it between a leg or so, I reckon they could have a go at them. I mean, it wouldn't be great if we're thinking, oh, God, England got to the final first time. Italy probably going to beat them. And England went out and just battered them 5-0. I mean, bloody hell. That would be it, wouldn't it? Bring home the World Cup. But yeah, what do you think? Okay, so we're going to round it up. Like, what do you think to the overall score? What do you think the score will be? This is going to be a big one.
Big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've said throughout, I think Italy are the best team in this tournament. Like from the very first video we did, I've said that.
Yeah.
But I think England can cause them problems. I do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call it as 1-1 in 90 minutes.
Ooh, bloody hell.
And then I'm going to call heartbreak for England on penalties.
Oh, no, not penalties. You couldn't. He's done it.
Because we're English and that's just the way it goes.
You know what?
I'm going to call as well. I'm going to say now it's going to go to penalties, and Sterling, who's been the hero of the whole tournament for England, is going to be the one who misses the decisive penalty because that is typical English.
Yes, that is it, isn't it? Morata was the hero for Spain, and then the comical villain, but not the actual villain. And then you had obviously Mbappe, best player in the world. He's going to be the best thing ever. He misses his penalty to knock France. Could well be Sterling or some poor bugger like Grealish or someone will get stepped up or do it. Everyone's cheering him on. He ends up flopping it. But yeah, okay. So that's I like the nice draw and a depressing end.
What are you going for?
Italy 3-0.
3-0. Oh, Gordon. I mean, straight spanking,
straight cutthroat. I think England is just happy to be there, but Italy are going to be so strong. I think if they can control Saka and Sterling, and they'll find a way, because obviously they know the guys at the back are going to struggle. They're going to have to find a way to get around that, to even stop them getting that far. But Donnarumma is such a bloody good goalkeeper as well. He's matured so well over the years, and I just think Italy are just going to just dominate them. I know it's typical English pessimism, but I honestly believe that Italy are going to just go out and just say, right, we've had enough. We're going to end this tournament as we started. I'd like your version. It'd be more stressful, I think, because I think if Italy just battered England, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. They're a better team anyway. But your version gives us a little bit of hope, little
A
hope,
little bit of hope.
bit of hope.
Penalties is a lottery, really. James says, "Look at the optimism."
Yeah.
Give us your prediction, James. What do you think?
Yes, splash up on here what you think, James, because obviously we're very interested in hearing what other folks think. Of course, you might say England win. And that'd be nice. That would be nice to hear that.
Maybe it'll be an England 3-0 and a Kane hat trick. Who knows?
I tell you what, I'd go for that. I'd go for that. I mean, goodness me, I'm trying to think if that happened. What could I do? But I did put a bet on, didn't I? Was it Ukraine? I said if Sterling scored a hat trick, I'd get his name and number on the show. But obviously, that never happened. My money stays firmly in my wallet. But oh God, if Kane scored a hat trick, let me think. I don't know what I could do. I have to think of something for. But no, I don't want tattoos or anything because that's permanent. But something goofy,
So James is called Italy 2, England 1.
Yes. Okay.
So he mentions our optimism and then he calls an Italian win himself.
Still got 3 goals in it, technically. Obviously, does England get one instead of Italy?
We should mention Kane as well, of course. Scored tonight. It's put him on 4. He's only 1 behind C-Run now for the Golden Boot race.
Yeah, and is it Czech as well?
Yeah, Schick is also.
Schick, sorry, I can never pronounce it.
Ronaldo's ahead of Schick because he's got an assist as well.
Ah, right.
So as it stands, Ronaldo's getting the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kane could take that off him if he grabbed a couple of goals.
Jesus Christ. That'll take me back to 2000 when I was a huge fan of Eminem. That would be the full circle, I think. Okay, I agree. If that happens, Kane gets a hat-trick and England win, I will get... In fact, you know what? Bollocks to it. If England win, I'll do that. So that's not even just the Kane thing. If England did win that final, I will don that haircut. Now, I've got long hair at the moment, but I will cut it short and I'll have a blondie.
So there we go. An England win. He gets not only a haircut, but also peroxide blonde dyeing.
Added bold spot on top as well, no less.
Yeah, that gets dyed too.
Oh my God. No, fair dues. I'm up for that. Are you doing anything, Nick, if England win?
Yeah, I'll be the one dyeing your hair for you. I'm cutting it.
You're going to cut it. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, God. I mean, I like your handlebars you've got rocking at the moment.
Yeah,
the Triple H look from 2004. I like it. The chops.
I'll get the Grealish if England win.
What's the Grealish? Oh, my God.
Complete with the headband.
Yes, let's pop that one up as well. There you go. So you'll figure a way out not to cut your hair, though. I know that, but you'll have it up in the. We'll do the review. I'll have the bleached blonde hair, and you'll have the hair pushed forward. God, we'll like right pair of yahoos, won't we? Our age.
But, James has got the clippers ready for you, Shady.
Oh God, what have I done? But I'll be so elated that England win. I'll take the hit.
Maybe we could do a video of the haircut for you.
Oh,
we'll do the cut live and then go straight into the next review of the final.
Yeah, could you imagine it? We'll get to your review in a moment, and I'm just going, get off here. Oh, good Lord. But yeah, that's it. That's how confident I am in England winning it. But yeah, fair play. I mean, I'm just glad they got there. Like I say, we've had 55 years. Obviously, people a lot older than us have had all that time, whereas we've obviously just had the 30 odd years, I suppose, since we've gone into football. So, it's just nice to see them back again. One thing I will touch on real quick, I did notice that Kasper Schmeichel had like a laser in his eye when the penalty was being taken. I don't know, obviously it must be in England. I can't imagine a Dane doing that. So obviously they were trying to put him off with that. And I was a bit like, oh God, I did see something flashing on his eye and I thought, what is that? And then they zoomed in. It turns out to be that. Bit of a shame. But, I think the Italians are going to be dirtier when we play them. I think that if they go 1-0 up, mate, that'll be it. They'll be rolling around. They'll make Neymar look like a straight up gentleman, honestly.
It's funny. I never actually noticed that the laser in the eye of Kasper.
Yeah, when it first happened, I seen it. I didn't see it, but then I seen some flickering, but didn't think nothing of it. But they highlighted it at the end. And I thought, oh God, that sucks. Because that would be pants if that was what they were doing. But It is what it is. And also, I don't agree with the booing of every national anthem as well. I think that sucks. But again, if that's what England have got to do to win this thing, what can you do? A bit of booing, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, let's hope we have a gentlemanly match against Italy. We probably won't, but let's hope so. Now, we obviously are going to a bar, which is unnamed, because we will be inundated with fans, no doubt, if we told the location, to watch the game. And then we'll be doing the review later on in the evening.
Fleffinator has just joined us. Says howdy.
Howdy.
What did you make of the game, Fleffinator?
Yeah, what's your 2 pence? And obviously, Jace as well, please let us know how you felt about the game as well. I've seen you all wearing your England tops in the thing. Obviously, DH was also wearing his. So I haven't had an England top for about 10 years.
Yeah, same. I gave mine away to my nephew. Last England top I had Bex on the back.
Oh, yes, I remember that one. Yeah, good old Bex.
Fleffinator predicted a 1-1 draw, so he's trying to claim the credit here.
Oh, yes. Mr. Evans. Well, the England shirt is going to be selling out everywhere now. You can imagine it, can't you? They're all going to be sold out. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was a good game, and I think England deserved over the 2 games. I think Denmark played a little bit out of their depth normally. I understand they're also just as nervous to get into that final. But I think they had a few shots, but they weren't. It was at the start of the game, wasn't it? But it wasn't quite. After the free kick, that was pretty much it. They were like, okay, let's just try and hold. And the penalties. Look, if we went to penalties, we'd have been crying now, because I can't have seen us beating them on penalties. In all due respect,
they had probably about 2 15-minute periods in the game where they were on top, and then the rest of the match England were on top.
Yeah.
They've done amazing to get to the semi-finals. Let's not forget they're much lower ranked than all of the other 3 teams in the semis.
Yeah.
Lost their best player in game 1, and they've got this far. Let's say we've got to give them a lot of kudos for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That first game against Finland, 1-0 down after all that craziness on that first day. Secretly on the side, I was hoping Denmark would get far, and if they got to the final, I would have been cheering them. I really would have, because I'd have hoped they'd have got there. But fair play, they got this far, and they turned up, and they did what they did. But I being an English fan, like I say, we've all struggled for the years. We've all struggled on club level, with our clubs. But now we're getting to where we're all getting to this point now. We're all joined together, feeling the same way. Hopefully be a nice atmosphere as well if we win it. Tomorrow's going to be buzzing. I just put the thing up from James there saying we should have days off tomorrow. I think Monday is going to be a big day off day. If England win it, or even if they lose, I still think people are going to not turn up on Monday to work. I don't know what time in Monday, but I'm hoping I'm on a late shift, because I ain't turn up at 9 o'clock. I know that much.
Crafty J says super tournament for England, exceeded expectation for him. Thinks England will get a draw in 90 minutes with super sub winner from Grealish.
Do you know what? I'd have that. I'd take that every day, Jace. I really would. That would be brilliant. And I completely agree with you. It has been exceeded expectation. Yeah, completely. I didn't have much hope for them. I know they're always favourites every tournament, aren't they, with the bookies? But I never thought they'd get this far. So I made up with that.
James thinks we should go 5 at the back, same as we did against Germany. I can see that. I can see why as well. I think England played very similar to Italy, really. And they try to sit back and just hit them on the counter. So I think it's going to be a very defensive game.
It's going to be a game of checkers, isn't it?
I mean, if you're a neutral, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a very boring final.
Yeah. I think neutrals, unless you're Italian, or you got some issue with Italian, I think everyone will be Italy's side. The rest of the UK are going to be Italy's side, let's face it. Everyone else is probably going to be, the whole Europe is going to be against, obviously, the whole Brexit thing that probably doesn't help as much. But you can imagine that. Came out of Europe one year, the following year, we win the damn thing, we take the trophy home. God, that's going to make us even worse, isn't it? The big villains.
Correction, James doesn't think we should play 5 at the back, but he thinks that's what we will play.
Oh, I see. Okay. I think, they've got to go for it. It is a final. I think at some point they've got to be strategic, and obviously they can't just let Italy run at them. But at the same time, they've also got to go for it themselves. They can't just think, "Oh God, what do we do? We've got to watch it and worry." They've just got to go for it. They've got no choice. They've got to punch his chance here. It's the Rocky versus Apollo all over again, isn't it? Really. So, yeah, Italy obviously, in my opinion, are going to be favourites because obviously their form, their togetherness, their records they're breaking. But that sometimes can go the other way.
Well, according to the odds, England are the favourites.
What? Do they not watch football? They're not watching any of the Italian games. I suppose in the knockout period, Italy have looked vulnerable. They have. They weren't as just they conceded goals in every game. Okay, one was a penalty. Was Austria a penalty? I can't remember. I know they did score an open play, but it was offside by a fingernail, wasn't it? But I'm sure I can't remember now. But
Fleffinator is predicting a score draw, a 2-2 draw.
Okay. Yeah.
James makes a good point. It's because we are home that we are the favourites.
Oh, I see. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, Italy could try and spoil that party, which they're going to have the best attempts, aren't they? I'd say if Italy go in front. And around about the 60, 70-minute mark, that's when you'll see the theatrics. So I'm just going to, honestly, I worry for that because I think it could be a great game. But after what they're seeing the other night against Belgium, oh my God, that Immobile thing. Yeah, we're laughing about it. We did laugh about it, let's face it, because I could have called him every name under the sun because I don't like any of that. But, I've ripped Neymar to pieces. I mean, I love Brazil, as you probably know, everyone bloody knows. But that Neymar thing really wound me up as well. But yeah, the whole thing, and we laughed at it, didn't we, in the end? But yeah, they'll try it again, and it won't be so funny this time. We were trying to get one back, and then they're holding their chest. Oh, I've been shot.
Yeah, it's all jokes until it happens to you.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see if we're laughing on the day if it happens. Yeah. But fingers crossed. I agree. Killed all momentum anytime. Yeah. So I think that. I think once Spain came out and they had a go, didn't they, Italy? I think they played really well against Italy. And I think they probably overall, in that particular game, they deserved it. So I'm kind of glad we're not playing Spain. So I think they would run rings around us, whereas Italy, they're going to be a bit more cautious like we are. It's going to be a game of chess. There's no doubt about it. So,
let's just hope it's a good game and we get the
win. We hope for a game. A nice 4-3 victory would be great. That's fingers crossed, but but yeah, I think that pretty much sums up. Really, we've been going on a bit longer than today. Obviously, it is the semi-final; it's a big deal, and then obviously can get to the final for the first time in 55 years. So again, that's another big deal. So we are we're going to be cropping out. Is there anything you'd like to add, Nick?
Yeah, no, just looking forward to the final. It's obviously been a wonderful tournament. Really good, actually. There's been a lot of great goals, some good results.
I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely, man. So that's it. So thank you everyone for joining us, James, Jace, and Fleffinator. Much appreciated. Appreciate it all. Completely agree. Yes, lack of killer instinct from Fleff there. Good agree. I think it might have been easier to play Spain with that lack of killer instinct, obviously, but I think this game will be good. So I'll be looking forward to it, and we'll see you Sunday night.
Yes, we hope you join us for the final video of this tournament.
Yes, I don't know what state we'll be in, but it will be there nonetheless. We'll be in one state or the other, won't we?
We will indeed.
Anyway, thanks again, guys. Much appreciated. And I'll take care of yourself, and I'll take care of yourself, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Cheers,
guys.